Thank you. leaflets, what are people going to read those leaflets? Buy Mama Love the leaflet, I'm back. Not buy with the leaflets. Whoever I'm controlling this bag, you pass it on to Mama Love. I'm back now, I can say leaflet now then. Munokini, buy Mama Love. Rastafari. Glory to the Most High, here he is. Rastafari. Yes, give thanks and praises to the Most High. Rastafari. We, after the viewing of the body, we give at least another 5 more minutes for the viewing of the body, and then we love this kingdom. Rastafari.
That's what I come for.
You guys good view in Cambodia, you can book myself. Mama Lavi, Kaliman, Loan and all. That's it, Lord. Yes. Rastafari, Selassie the first. Yeah, I want to say greetings in the name of Ilya, King Rastafari, Selassie. Blessed Lord. You playing yourself in meeting. Yes, one word song. One word song, one word song. Yourself one who play the damn part your mother. Yourself one. Let's go. Yeah. Greetings in the name of Rastafari Selassie the first. Yeah, first to start with, I want to tell the people, tell you now, it is the house of the Nyabingi, the Theological foundation of Rastafari, I universally representing there right now. We say Kai Nyabingi, I universally presentement. Our foundation, our headquarters in down cantonment before Ceylon headquarters in cantonment. Right now, we have fair reconstruction, we have renovated, we have factory right now. Cafe Sakibo. Aye. Last year, in Rastafari. We Ras Levi from the Nyabingi Tabernacle. We have Mama Lavi, our matriarch from our tabernacle. Ancient Variety, our priest from the tabernacle. We have Brother Ituba, elderly man from the tabernacle. We have Brother Manjo, which is our oldest Rastaman in terms of age, and the eldest Rastaman in St. Lucia, as far as I know for now. Big up Manjo. Yes, sir, Selassie. We have Brother Ired, our young man from the tabernacle, young prince from the tabernacle. And we have our elder Brother Wisely, from the tabernacle. Give thanks. Selassie, King Rastafari. We want to say one love, and we are extending our strength and courage to the people. I personally, I don't really extend condolences because I see it more or less as a witness. So we say, we are extending strength and courage to the people. The family of Naya, that is Eustachius Pompilis. We extending our strength and courage to the friends and families, brothers and sisters and whoever I even really know him, but is presented today. We say one love. And we are saying that, we're asking the Most High to have him to not to rest in peace, but to rest in power through the love and fellowship of His Imperial Majesty, Eli Selassie. Selassie, King Rastafari. We go want you and them to cooperate and collaborate with I because I chant and I give, see whatever and I have to say this Iowa. As far as the service is concerned, it is in the name of El Selassie I the first. So when we say El Selassie, you have to say Rastafari. That's not go? Yes, sir. El Selassie. I smell Selassie. Rastafari. Before. El Selassie the first. Yeah, blessed love to people. Blessed love. We'll go start with our chant. Roll River Jordan Road. Yes, so pass the mic to the priest as the leading vocal man this time. Glory be to the name of the Most High. Praise ye the living High. All glory, all honor to the name of the Most High. All week of conception, fire. Give thanks for life. Give thanks for taking our life from a natural death from all dangers of life. Papa Selassie, I am impressed in is our light and our life creator, and I trust and not be afraid. Emperor Rastafari. Sleeping game and zero river Jordan. Until River Jordan,
Rastafari send I am I gotta save I am high from wrong. From the giant fire, on the mountain, yes, I must see. In my giant just to it was honor the name of the Most High. Song. Glory be to the power of the Most High. Glory be to Mount Zion above them all. Be all our good and our people and see straight to dwell together in that one perfect love and identity. For it is like a precious ointment upon our head, even on our beard. And I beard that run over the skirts of our garments. As the dew of Iman, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew ascended upon the other mountain of Mount Zion. For them that live in high his blessings, even life and love forever in Mount Zion. Great is the name of the living high. And because they are like very continent to shine upon our this gathering, wherever I may go, day or night, praise, bless, sanctify, and I take all of our life, and cause our life to be free from the hands of wicked man and woman, both now and forever. And let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart ever be freely and acceptable in Celestial sight and then president in our sight. Hold on, was and I strength and I redeemer. The I will not leave there from me there forever and forever in Mount Zion. Great is the name of the living God. And look at the event continent to shine upon our night, day or night. Praise, bless, sanctify, and I take all of our life. And cause our night you are free from the hands of wicked man and woman, both now and forever. And let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart ever be freely and acceptable in Celestial sight and then president in thy sight. Who thou who say, highly and thy strength and thy redeemer. The I will not live there from me there forever and forever in Mount Zion. Great is the name of the living highly. Praise ye the living highly. All glory, all honor to the name of the Most High highly.
Yeah, blessed Lord, blessed Lord, blessed Lord. Yeah, man, but still before I start, I sit in other words, I will chant the creed. Yeah, that the hunger be fed, sick, nourished, in the glory, each protected, and in myself for. It's the last year in the first.
Glory be to the name of the Most High. Praise ye the living highly. All glory, all honor to the name of the Most High. Prince and princesses, must you out of Babylon. Ethiopia now stretch up thy hands and heart unto the living high. When I find of Ethiopia and I find majesty, the one I is coming to and I have to dwell in the hands of righteous one. The I leader and I teacher and I help and I to forgive that and I must be forgiven. Please teach and I love loyalty on earth as it is in Mount Sinai. And govern I thy wise mind, knowledge and understanding to do the I will. The I blessings unto an I is that the hungry be fed, the sick nourished, naked be clothed, aged protected, and the infants be cared for. Deliver I from the hands of our enemies, so that our life must be proven fruitful, even for this first hour, and even forever and forever. So that when the enemies all pass and are decayed unto the test of the earth, unto the test of the sea, or in the test of the beast, oh, give our all the places that have a living King of Kings now, both now and forever. Through the hour of the King of Kings, the conquering Lamb of the universe, the elect of himself, the light of this world, and the light of our life of nation. Emperor in the eyes, Emperor in the eyes, Emperor in the eyes. And I find worship, the eye is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning without end, the first and forever, the architect of our faith, and the ruler of the whole universe. So hail unto thy Father, King above all kings, creator, Emperor in the eyes, Empress, many Rastafari the first. Great and thunderable like highly eyes, terrible and dreadful like highly eyes, visible and invisible like highly eyes, the omniscient, the omnipotent, the omnipresent like highly eyes, most ancient king and priest after the order of Selassie, highly eyes, I have Bentley eye, I have Kango eye, I have Shanti eye, highly eyes, one as father and as mother. The eulogy liveth and liveth forever and forever in Mount Sinai. Please do God, Selassie, I will very continue to shine upon our night in this gathering, wherever I may go, day or night, and praise, bless, sanctify. And I take all of our night and cause our night to be free from the hand of wicked man and woman. And let the words of our night mouth and the meditation of our night heart ever be freely and acceptable in Selassie's sight and Empress Mennonite's sight. O thou most highly eyes, highly eyes, and thy strength and thy redeemer. The eye will not liveth and reigneth forever and forever in Mount Sinai. Great is the name of the living eye, highly eyes. Praise ye the living eye, highly eyes. All glory, all honor to the name of the Most High, highly eyes. Never forget Psalm 68 verse 4. He said, exalt him, call him by his name. How many of the people here know his name? Everybody call him God, but he have a name. He have a name, Psalm 68 verse 4. He have a name. His name is not Jah. His name is Rastafari. Hail Selassie, that's a new name. That would be dreadful and terrible amongst men. As Revelation said, give thanks for life.
Yes. Blessed Lord, the kings of kings, the lords of lords, the conquering and of tribe of Judah. Are you now heard the voice of the Rastaman say? Are we dead Babylon, your truth gone down, gone down, Babylon, your truth gone down. From God, the angel with the serpent something Babylon, your truth gone down, gone down, Babylon, your truth gone down. Something Babylon, your truth gone down, gone down, Babylon, your we say fly away home to Zion, fly away home. Hey, hey, last year we say fly away home to Zion, fly away home. For I want like morning, when I will see the highway yard, away home. Are you the head
the voice of Rastaman said, Babylon, your truth gone down, gone down. Babylon, your truth gone down. Are we dead, Babylon, your truth gone down, gone down. Babylon, your truth gone down. Yes, we got another chant. Praise. We come together in Farad.
Yes.
Lord, be unto the name of the Most High, praise ye the living High, all glory, all honor to the name of the Most High, oh, come together, come together, come together in Farad. Practice to love one another. Practice to love one another. That is the only way we could solve all our problems in the Holy Trinity. Practice to love one another. Because don't forget your heartbeat, what it says. Do good. Do good. Even though you're sleeping, do good. Even though you're bathing, do good. Even though you're pooping, do good. That's what your heartbeat is saying. So why do you want to do something else? Why do you want to contradict your heartbeat? If you contradict your heartbeat, what happens to you? Heart attack, hospital, death. And we don't want that. It's love we want. We must practice to love one another. Try your best to love your brother and your sister. Don't want to make war. All them killing and shooting and them embarrassment, woman raping and all this madness. We don't want that in our life. To become a Rasta man, you must reborn. Meaning all the things you used to do that wasn't good, you must do them anymore. Things I used to do, I will do them no more. I said the things I used to do, I will do them no more. Say the things I used to do, I will do them no more. It's a great day since I was born. It is a great Jesus. Hallelujah. Jump and bow down and give that confession. Father, God, Mama, we give thanks for life.
Blessed Lord, you may sit right now. Have the seat, pull out in the seat and relax yourself. Yeah, you see, I was a man always on the farm and working up and down, never have time to sit. So we take a little time to make that sacrifice whereby we just be on our feet. Give thanks, Selassie. Yeah, King Rastafari, the Almighty Eye. You must have patience and tolerance and exercise some kind of love with I and I, because what? Most probably that is the first time some of the I and them actually attending a service like this one. Yeah, man. So we welcome each and everyone to such, and just like what Justice said, it's just like a new technology within the farming community, and you have to adapt to the technology and demonstrate it and do whatever you have to do. Give thanks. So we're coming to the eulogy right now, and with the eulogy, Naya's eulogy, we have our matriarch, yeah man, the one who knows all, in relation to Naya as a family. Yeah man, and living the life of Rastafari for over 47 years plus. You understand? So, our matriarch from the tabernacle, yes, an empress with the courage, with the strength, with the love, and the fear of the Almighty King Rastafari. Yes, we have Mama Lavi. We have no more than Mama Lavi to go through the eulogy. Yes, as far as Naya is concerned, Mama. Blessed Lord, Rastafari, the first. Yeah. No stranger to the yard. Yeah. Yes, Mama.
Yes, greetings each and everyone, Rastafari. Brothers and Queen. Yes, I am Sister Mama Lavi, Naya Bengi, Queen, Rastafari, Empress. Bless for correction. Yes, So, well, this afternoon, we come to celebrate Naya. His life. Well, he's come to an end, Rastafari. But he's a man, he's lived his life over 47 years. Me and him have 9 children, But right now we have 5 of them because we lost 4 of them, Rastafari. So, and he lived his life as Rastafari. He was a strong man, taking care of his children, love his children. I could not say nothing than that, how he take care of his children. So good as a father, He was really care for his children. Because I never know that he never left his children without food, without water, without anything that the children will need. He will provide it for his children, And today, right now, they come to an end. Rastafari, I could say to His Majesty, have a place of refuge to rescue him. Let him rest in peace. In love of Rastafari, life he lived. So Rastafari, life is still continue with him. His journey still continue to the whole of everlasting life. Rastafari. So he live his life. He live his life, and he live his life with a title of majesty. Rastafari, not he that gave his it's the people. It's according to how you are living, and so much brethren, youth, child, and children, he bring forward to the life of Rastafari. So the people look towards him. One day, a brethren called him an old man. He said, Usa Majesty, garçon. Usa Majesty. He dit, oui. Pour les Sa Majesté, pour vous, Monsieur King, vous comprenez? Il dit, oui, Sa Majesté, vous un homme qui, même pour un homme qui lève en Paris Queen, non? Montez l'anglais, moi, ça. Et chaque là où il a, toute manière, moi, en Majesté, où il y a un homme en Paris King, là, so, Queen, so, pas, frère, dit, oui, comment? Pas que moi, Monsieur King, en Paris King of Kings, vous comprenez? So, c'est pas lui qui baille nos Majesté. C'est le monde qui baille nos Majesté, sous travail, sous gros travail. Because c'est un frère qui t'a aidé en chaîne. Il pas jamais venu ou pas moun vini boire nous et puis dire moi viens acheter à manger et puis jamais quitter aller ça. Il a toujours fait. Il fait pas il moi mais après il manger il capable. Parce qu'il pas jamais quitté Ishli pour y avant Ishli. Il voulait mettre sure Boria là handi fait ba Ishli, a préparation ba Ishli. So il c'est un homme qui te care Ishli. Et comme tout dit il care Ishli. Il pas jamais forcé Ishli et puis il fait pièce pour la bataille à l'Ishli. So là quand vient qui me dit moi toujours ça dit love Ishli. Mais my people là, moi, je viens Missy love Ishli. Il partait d'ici pour voir maman à l'école. Il dit, il parle mon because of il parle mon bac Ishli pour la bataille dans l'Ishli. Il dit, moi, il parle maman à l'école. So, moi-même, je fais try best, moi, je dis ça. Moi, faire ça matcher non yo. Vous comprenez? Faire dit alphabet yo. Mais là, les gens viennent courir, maman, il a même dit, il va aller à l'école. So moi vini di well by the ou by the mon kan pouvoir maman là l'école foi. Il dit moi well c'est choice moi mais c'est pas choice lui. Depuis ngay ça du bout pour moi rien pas ouvert yo à l'école là. So moi ça fait ça fait. Mais si rien ouvert yo à l'école là, c'est moi qui paye pour lui. My people, ou pas kay vle quoi. Yon jour, yon a ce teacher back principle et qui était disclosé back principle parce qu'il back un mauvais un morceau planche. Les petits maman là ouvert il dit papa il voit il a trai voyant manière petit quoi. Papa il dit chimie c'est qui ça pour vous possible. Il commence à dire teacher qui back moi quoi qui va moi un morceau planche en l'air par épaules moi frère juste tomber acide frère pour qui ça paye acide là? Fâché, il est fâché pour ça parce qu'il peut dire pas voir Ishli l'école. Et pour Ishli qui dit, une femme qui baille un coup de morceau, planche les épaules, et qui va la passer même lever boy. So là il dit moi, plutôt pour lui même deux bouts à l'école là. Et quand oui mettre madame ça qui fait Ishli, mais c'est ça là. Moi même step forward parce que si pas ça c'est moi qui paye pour lui. Et pour c'est là, moi je viens pour voir. I really love Ishli, Kepo Ishli, Rastafari. Oui, man. So, from that, life continue. Moi, je viens à l'école là de madame là, nous parler, tout by Vincent. Là, moi, je viens moi, dis tout by Vincent. Premier bail dit, moi, est-ce que vous voyez un coup? Moi, je dis, mais frère, qui m'a donné un bail? Les bails chapeau, pas fait je me sens quoi. Mais les bails chapeau, mais bon, mais j'ai juste bails chapeau. Mais si tu as ban hadis, n'a bail coup. Mais il pas pièce pour les moi venir humble coin. So depuis on a humble coin. Pour ni pour admettre, il humble coin. Vous comprenez? So c'est ça que fait frère ma bail coup. Mais si tu as ban moi pièce goodness n'a bail coup. Comme on dit, vous comprenez? Bon là moi venir oui man, ça c'est un homme qui love Ishli et care of Ishli. Oui, maman, il a passé qu'à jamais sorti, il a pièce côté. Et puis il ne peut pas ça. Moi, je ne peux pas ça. Mais il a ça qui côté, il va aller. Rastafari. So, moi, oui, merci papa. Pour bon qu'il pour Ishli. Mais pour l'individu avec life, moi, avec life, il est réalité terrible and grateful. Moi, pas ça, il passe. Vous comprenez? On est pour dire bon, on est pour dire ça pas bon. Fire. Rastafari. Because c'est pas qu'on a nous qu'à get deal. Rastafari. It's a terrible between we. If nous vivons 47 years, if nous tenons despite from me, vous comprenez? Because of ma ça pour encore et puis quoi non, tout moi était capable moi. Là toute ma la vie moi tenons run for life moi. Et comme to this day, moi pas comme moi et puis pas quoi, mais moi j'étais toujours qu'à faire pour point que quoi. Moi ça de toute manière, il pas ni en madame, il caille foutre pas mal et puis quoi, avec la vie, et c'est quoi fait, c'est ça que fait. So Rastafari, moi quand remercier papa on dit à life living and the end pour continuer journey pour life of everlasting. So moi quand demander papa pour forgive lui, pour trials and tribulation il bear present papa. Moi quand demander pour all ancestors lui, pour bienvenue, all descendants lui, maman, papa, c'est maman et papa foyer, et maman li, sensi, bienvenue papa. Cuba, bienvenue papa. Naughty, bienvenue papa. Jai, bienvenue papa. Rastafari. Bienvenue à Zion, pour aider papa, pour nous en place of rescue, pour rescue papa. C'est ainsi Cuba Naughty, ils tout là, bienvenue papa. Papa sont venus pour style pour 15 ans toujours, pour continuer la vie épisode. Rastafari. Elia. Il c'est un homme, il travaille pour aider une chaîne nation. Il tient un homme tenir. Combien de femmes? Nous tenons plus de 3 femmes. 4 femmes qui ont aidé la nation. C'est un homme qui a fait merci au miel aussi tout. Oui, il fait merci au miel pour combien d'années? As Rastafari, il a support nation Rastafari, beloved nation Rastafari, et pour vivre, et pour continuer liberty Rastafari as cleanliness. Rastafari. Elia. Rastafari, the first. Yes, I. So, je vais aider papa pour bienvenue, pour forgive, pour trials and tribulation. Je vais aider Kings of Kings pour bienvenue. Pour nous en place of rescue pour rescue. Je vais aider papa pour tout Kings of Kings, Great King David pour bienvenue. Je vais aider pour Great God of Joseph pour bienvenue. Kings of Kings, God of Emmanuel pour bienvenue. Rastafari, God of Thunder pour bienvenue. Brother Bonaji, Brother Imanai, Heavens of Heaven. Rastafari qui a fait way of everlasting pour bienvenue. Because il c'est un homme qui travaille pour build nation Rastafari. Because il c'est le premier homme originaire qui fait Rastafari from Valia. Là nous venons Elderly Manjo vient strengthen par nous force. Nous venons presenter nous as Rastafari. Et nous continuons la vie pour up to this day. Nous live Rastafari. Par principe Manjo. Nous ne pas jamais give up la vie. Et il même aide plusieurs nations, même venir forward, live it of Rastafari. So pour les amants qui sur la prière, pour bienvenue pour papa, Rastafari, pour tout el chain climat, maman et papa, pour les ancestors, pour bienvenue, Rastafari, Elia. La prière est significante pour land of Jerusalem, pour bienvenue toute nation. Rastafari. The words of my mouth and meditation of my heart freely accept Haile Selassie I table in thy side to the Most High. Elia. Thy strength and thy redeemer. Thy long enough forever and ever. O thou Most High, send up light of continents, shine upon our night, morning, noon, and night, bless and sanctify, and protect all of our night, and set all of our night yet free from the hands of our enemies. Elia. Rastafari the first. Yes, I. Prince and princess, nous do bout like tout pour lever la main, because nous pas bienvenue pour y avoir papa. Rastafari. Elia. Rastafari the first. Elia. Prince and princess is most gathered Babylon. Ethiopia must rest hold thy hands unto Haile Selassie King Rastafari the first. O Father, O Ethiopia, and thy divine majesty, the irate come into thy heart to dwell in the path of the righteous man. O Haile Selassie, lead I and I, teach I and I, that I must be forgiven. O Haile Selassie King Rastafari the first. Please teach I and I love, loyalty on earth as it is in Mount Zion. O Haile Selassie, give I and I thy wise mind, knowledge, understanding to do Selassie wills. O thou Most High, Selassie King Rastafari the first. Let the hungry be fed, the sick nourished, naked clothed, edge protected, and infants cared for. O Haile Selassie, deliver I and I from the hands of my enemies, that I must be fulfilled, and I work both now and forever. Through the eye of the King of Kings, conquering Lion, the 12th tribe of Judah, the elect of himself, the light of the soul, and the light of every nation and nation foundation. So hail unto our Father and King. Hail the eye, hail the eye. So when I and our enemies are passed at the gate, deaths of the earth, deaths of the seas, even in the belly of the beast. Give I and I a place in ever-living kingdom, both now and forever. Through the eye of the King of Kings, conquering lion, the 12 tribe of Adu, the elect of himself, the light of his soul, and the light of every nation and nation foundation. So hail unto our Father and King. Hail the eye, hail the eye. Hail the eye, hail the eye. Hail the eye. Last the eye. King Rastafari the flesh. So blessed is I and I walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, not standeth in the ways of sinners, not sitteth in the seat of the counselor. But I and I life shall be in the love of Haile Selassie. And in Haile Selassie law, do I and I meditate day and night, and I life shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth its fruits in every season. And I life also shall not wither, whatsoever I do, let it prosper. The wicked that come so, let the chaff which is in drive us away. Fire. Therefore the wicked shall not stand in judgment, but no sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the ways of the living I know the ways of the righteous, but the ways of the wicked shall perish. Kill the devil now. Bless. Bless each and everyone. Give thanks for patient of hearing. Give thanks everyone.
Haile Selassie the first. Yeah, man. Give Mama Love you a little round of applause for the whole song. Yeah, man. Let's start out. Yeah. Blessed be the Most High, Selassie, King Rastafari the first. Yeah, man. As we ask is no patience and tolerance and understanding, you know. Because Rastafari people gone through enough already. There was a time when you heard about this marijuana business. You know what I mean? It's just like death upon Rasta, you know. Yeah, the spirits and stuff on Jimmy. Yeah, we bring down our community where we went there in all our peace and our good vibes to live together in harmony and love. Yeah, man. But the system and government, political, assigned people, yeah, man. Police and soldiers to start with, demoralized, ill-treated us. Yeah, for the many goods, you know. Yeah, the herb, the marijuana you wear. And right now, you see, right now, we used to tell them about all the benefits of the herbs. It is good for asthma, good for tuberculosis, good for influenza, and the many cancer and the many others. We were ridiculed by the system, past and current governments. You understand? And right now, you know what happened right now? The whole world has embraced the herbs and talking about them same medicinal values of the herbs. So Rasta was always is still on the right track, always, and remained on the right track. Yeah, man, we talk about itality, whereby we should be vegan, no see, vegetarians, for a better understanding of people. And you know what happened? We were ridiculed the same way. And you know what one? Right now, the people who try to push this thing believe that they are the authority. Rasta is the authority upon them things, man. We come with it. Yes, love one another. We born find the same abortion business they have right now with gay and lesbians all around this world. Yeah, man, we don't stand with them things, man. Fire! You see, and these are the things, man, like Naya stood for, you know. This lesbian and gay. When you try to jump on a man's back, you know where you're going? Huh? You know where you're going? You're going in a septic tank. There's a septic tank that is there. And if you try to go in a septic tank, what do you do with yourself? Burn them out, man. Yes, man. We talk about truth and right. All nations have the gods. Or the God, or how you call it, the creator. We name ours after the black man, Ethiopia, Africa we're dealing with. We hail His Majesty. We hail Selassie I the first as our God, Lord and Savior. The Bible declares that His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie I, is the Father of the creation. the architect and the founder of this creation. His Majesty was crowned 1930, November 2nd in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa at the St. George's Cathedral. Yeah, man, in the presence of all nations of the world, by the abbonas and the bishops, as the King of Kings and crowned, coronated as the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And Christ in his kingly character. None of them disputed that in his presence. Yeah, and right now it's trouble in the earth, you know, when you are Rasta and present his majesty. You know, see, all nations are the gods. We respect that. Whether it's Buddha, whether it's a stone, whether it's Allah, whether it's Jesus, or whatever name you call him. Yeah, Rasta respect this thing, you know. And when Rasta come forward, tell you, Eli, his majesty and his last words. Yeah, man, he's the creator of the heavens and the earth. You have to bow and respect that the same way. Respect you. Blessed Lord. So long, Rastafari, so long. So long, Rastafari, so long. Oh, when the enemies are around life, and they're trying to so long, Rastafari, so long. I think Rastafari. Yeah, man, I want to recognize my friend and my brother and my good buddy. Yeah, man, our minister, Junior Minister for Tourism, Brother Gibeon, he's around us and he's right there. Yeah, put up your hand for the people who I talk about. Yeah, man. And our close brethren, yeah, man, the community activist is still around him. Brother Moncherry, blessed Lord, still not the first. Yeah, man, so we welcome each and everyone, and we want to say perfect love. And we're now going into the first reading. Yeah, man. Our first reading is from Isaiah 61, 1-4. And we have Donnelly. Give thanks, Sister Donnelly. Blessed Lord. Yeah, man. We love the Bible the same way.
Good day, everyone. Anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of the spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his splendor. They will build the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations.
Glory be to the name of the Most High. Give thanks and praises. Yeah, to His Majesty, the Lord of hosts. Blessed Lord.
A young companion, and I need farewell. I will not do with you so I am on my not go, I will not go with you. From all evil, I will not go, I will not go with you. I long compassion and I give farewell. I will not go with you I am on my way to Mount Zion. I will not go, I will not go with you. Lord, in the name of the Most High, praise ye the living High. All praise and honor to the name of the Most High. Always remember to do good. Always remember to do good. Because you have something inside of you that reminding you of doing good, which is your heartbeat. Do good. Love your brothers and sisters as the Creator loves you. The Creator never hates you, you know. Is you not going astray and doing wicked and evil things. But He always loves you as His child or children. Glory to the name of the Most High. Hallelujah. Eulogy continue.
Yeah, we give thanks. Yeah, we call in those people who have to send a register. Loan, Louise, Brenda Marfre, Prince Louise, and Naji Samuel. Yeah, man, why is the register, signing the register with Chandachan one day they are over?
They bring them and say one day, there Hallelujah, one day, there yesterday. All glory and honor to live on the Most High. Hallelujah. God must give thanks for life. Give thanks for taking our life from our natural from all dangers of life. Papa Selassie impressed me in his own life and our life creator. And I will trust not be afraid. Them bright the eye. Them bright the eye. Them bright the eye. Tell them, my Father, tell them, wherever I am, I and I love to let the people do what is right. Keep wrong away from I and I always be in the valley of love. Do good, all black people, do good. For the black man, things are wrong for people. I in the most high. It's a perfect love. It's true. But I do. What's that love?
We just moving into the program, you know, and we are calling now on but the Sister Lord for the second reading, Colossians 2:6-13. Yeah, big up Lord. Forward. Blessed love.
Do good. And good will follow you.
Greetings, family, brothers and sisters from both home and abroad. Glory to his words, glory to his songs, glory to the powers of the ever-living eye. Hallelujah! Rastafari, Colossians chapter 2, verse 6-13. As ye have therefore received the Most High Jah, so ye walk in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith, as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. Beware lest man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after the Most High. For in him dwelleth in the fullness of the Godhead bodily, and ye are complete in him, which is the head of the principality and power. In whom also ye are circumcised with the circumcision made without hands, in putting off the body of the sins of the flesh by the circumcision of the Most High. Buried with him in baptism, wherein also ye are risen with him through the faith of the operation Jah, who hath raised him from the dead. Rastafari. And you, being dead in your sins and the uncircumcision of your flesh, hath he quickened together with him, having forgiven you all trespasses.
Give thanks, Sister Lord. Yeah, the brethren who is in this coffin there right now there, that is his daughter. Born Rasta. Yeah man, we have our youth Born Rasta coming forward to black the truth and to strengthen whatever we're doing. I am under the road. Yes. Being a man rocking like a Rastafari, I am under the road. Oh, God, I am under the road. Rockabilly, Rastafari, I am under the road. Just see, I love every time. The last year, the first. So we find ourselves right now within the program. Yes, sir. Yeah, where we chanting a few chants still. Yeah, man. Ayana Yadamon Ayana Kinsilasi Ayadamon Ayana Awilu Yes, yeah, we're just going through the program. All what we are saying, while you are in here, you understand, just make peace with your brothers and sisters and yourself. Yeah, man, let everything to be love and everything. Yeah, there's a book named the Forgotten Books of the Bible, and it says that whenever you have your burden and your heart is heavy, you have to stay away from even the altar of the Almighty. Yeah, man, you should not participate or take part in things while your heart is heavy. Yeah, man, it's a punishment that have to lead you on. You have to be free. Yeah, man, as a people, to do the works of His Majesty. Give thanks, man. And we call on Sister Tracy. Sister Tracy. Tribute. Sister Tracy. Right now, we're battling in the body. I know that my battle. See, this Saturday, I say, book on them. Yeah, man, just check whatever that we'll be saying there right now and check yourself. Blessed Lord, Tracy.
Good afternoon, all. Well, I just want to share with you guys the fond memories I have of my uncle growing up. As most of you all knew, he lived by the river, and whenever I came up to spend summer vacation with my grandmother, we would frequent there often. And one of my favorite reasons for going there is that he used to plant marijuana, and he used to store them in those red and white barrels. And then when he used it up, he would store water in those barrels. For some reason, the water used to be extremely cold. Back then, they didn't have fridge. So the water used to be chilled, so I enjoyed that. But then they used to have those big imaginary cups. My whole face would fit in the cup. So every time I go, I ask for water. They would fill a cup for me and I'd drink. But for some reason, the more I drink water, the more I want water. The more I drink water, the more I want water. Only to realize later on it was the fact that he was storing his marijuana in the water, in the barrel. So my belly used to be full with water. And boy, I always want water. And I always smiling. Another time, well, as you all knew, he was a bee farmer. And whenever he harvests, and he would give us the comb. So he would tell me, "Say bye, carry my salad, because I can't buy bonbon there." But me, I learned a lot about myself being with my uncle. Whenever he gave me that honeycomb, I used to take my time to eat it because I didn't know at the time that honey used to get me drunk. Well, sugar gets me drunk. So I would take my time. So one day he gave me a small piece of honeycomb, and he ran dripping down my arm, my there licking, and he put it in a dashing lid for me. So he's telling me, hurry up, eat that before the bees come after me. Well, Lord and behold, my uncle went on his business, and my merry way licking my hands. At the time, I just heard, I turned back, and I saw a swarm of bees heading towards me. On a Sunday, we used to go to dance every Sunday afternoon from 1 until 6. My grandmother would allow us to go. But my uncle always policed. Whenever he knew that we were there, he would police the road to make sure that we were safe. So after the dance, he would accompany me home. He would stay at distance. He wanted to watch me go. And then one day he said to me, don't pass by a particular person's home, pass the long way, so that he can make sure that I'm home, because if I pass by that person's home, they have too much bush there, he'll not see if anything happened to me, so he made me pass the long way, and when I reached by my grandmother, he would turn back and go and do his business. My uncle was a loving man, Irish person, never found himself in any trouble with anybody. He spent some time with us in Castries. That was fun. We had a lot of fun with him. Yeah, man, he was just an Irish person. Even in his last days at the hospital, he would tell us, he asked us to cut his locks for him. He said he's feeling free. And when he was, 2 days before he died, the Friday, I went to see him. He said that he started having pain. And then he said to me, we made like you can't travailler. When he saw the auto, we made like you can't travailler. Okay, because he had his senses. He knew everything that was going on with him. He would ask us questions. We would tell him. When my cousin Naji said something about dying and stuff, he said, but God knew best, and it was his time to go. So it's a great loss for me and my family. We'll miss him dearly. That was my best uncle in all my mother's brothers. That's the best. Okay?
The best. The best. Among all, the best. Yeah, man. So the Bible is so, and I still, a good name is better than wealth and riches. Give thanks. He was the best. Rastafari. So we now call on Sister Lone again. Yeah, man. Sister Lone. Give thanks. That is the last one, you know. Last. It's the Lord. Blessed Lord, Lord. Love the song. Yes.
Greetings once again, brothers and sisters. It's a pleasure to have you here in the burial ceremony of my father, Eustachius Pompilis, better known as Naya, Majesty, Elima, Master Fox. You know, he was a great and humble man, that's all I can say about him. And we had many good times, especially when my son came about. And my mother said, "Upa jeme muche ishu mashe fe bay tukta uka muche ti ishu pa heme we yo fe premier damu uka we ishu fe premier day premier pie." You know, so he was very happy and he welcomed his first grandchild in the family. And what I can say, he was just humble. We had our good times, you know. It's nothing that I can explain, but I can feel, you know. And even if I say it in words, you may not understand. You know, so I have nothing much to say, but Daddy, we had a wonderful and beautiful life together, even in your last days, you know. I appreciate everything you told me and you've taught me, and your legacy will still go on, you know, as Majesty. So give thanks, Father, for all you've taught me. I think and I believe in your words and your teaching, so may the good Lord guide and protect you continually, and the ancestors watch over you and over your children as we grow into beautiful prince and princesses. You know, give thanks.
It's coming from the heart. A happy girl move, you know. Young man alone, blessed Lord. And even before he passed away and reaching the hospital, he used to cool out at Loan's place, you know. So even at the last moment, Loan was always there with him. Give thanks, Lord, man. Love them. Yeah, man. The Bible tells us love them more than like father, nowadays will be longer. Give thanks, Pastor. Yeah, man. So I can call on Brother Wesley right now. Tribute, flowing all over.
Yes, give thanks as we say, glory to word, glory to sound, glory be to the powers of the living eye, Haile Selassie first and Empress Menen. Yes, I want to just welcome each and everyone who really made it their duty to be here today to pay tribute and to celebrate the life of Naya. As we always say, we don't come here to weep and mourn, we don't come here to cry. We come here to celebrate the life of a brethren who did some mighty works while he was here on this earth. And we give him thanks for all the time he shared with us, all the good knowledge, even as his daughter indicated, the good examples he said, the teaching he gave them. We rejoice in all of that. And now that he has transitioned, we are asking that the ancestors would gladly receive him and put him in a place where no more sorrow, as we say, no more sorrow, no more pain. Eliai, Rastafari. So I just want to share a few words from the word of the Almighty, you know, pertaining to Brother Naya and his transition. Rastafari. Reading from 1 Corinthians 15 from verse 33, verse 34 to 40. Rastafari. Awake to righteousness and sin not, for some have not the knowledge of the Most High. I speak thus to your shame. But some man will say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come? Thou fool, thou which hast sowest is not quickened except it die. What the word is saying, that is just like if you take a piece of a corn seed and you put it in the ground, before it grows, it has to rotten first. It will not stay as it is and grow. It has to decompose and then grow. So that's what the word is saying, you know. And that which thou sowest not that the body that shall be, but bear grain, and it may chance of wheat or of some other grain. But the Most High giveth it a body as it pleaseth him, and to every seed his own body, all flesh is not the same flesh. There is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. For one star differeth from another star in glory. So also in the resurrection of the dead, it is sown in corruption, and it is raised in incorruption. It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body. Yes, as the word says, there is a spiritual body and a natural body. Most of us, we know the natural body, we know one another. But the spiritual body, which is the real, the highest of the person in the individual himself, very few of us are able to know, get to know to that level of knowing the individual. Most of the time, we only know them based on their physical characters, their physical traits. As we know, Naya was a very good farmer, hard-working farmer, you know. But the spiritual side, as his daughter expressed, the love which he shared with her, you know, that is not all of us would have been able to see that. You know, but we give thanks to hear that the testimony today, that he was a brethren with love in his heart. And so the spiritual, the physical body which is going down today will rise up in a spiritual body. And that's what we refer to as the incarnation, Rastafari. So when somebody transition, that's not the end of them, no. They make us feel as though death is the end, no. You only move from the earthly plane to the Zionly plane, or would say the heavenly plane. We move from the physical body to the spiritual body. And that is what we, in this time, when the Father sent us on this earth, is to live a life, an exemplary life, so that the spiritual, which is the head, will eventually take over the physical. Because though we are physical beings, but we're living in a spiritual experience. And that is what we must be mindful of, that spiritual experience, which is the love which we live amongst one another. That is why it is important that in all we do good. Love your brother and your sister. Love one another. Love is the key to open Rastafari door. So we give thanks again for the life Naya lived amongst I and I. And now that he has transitioned, he will be with the ancestors who will gladly receive him, and where his journey will continue at another level. So we give thanks. Rastafari. And may these words of I and I mouth and the meditations of I and I heart ever be humble and acceptable in thy sight, thy strength and thy redeemer. One perfect love, Rastafari.
Yes, one perfect love, Rastafari. Yeah, man, you've heard many things here today. Yeah, but man like myself and others who of the same thinking. Yeah, this thing about you give people flowers after death. It is a dread thing in St. Lucia, Rasta. A dread thing. You give the flowers after the person passed away. Amen. How many times we never sat down and say, you know what happened? We should try to honor that, you know. Get deeper in understanding Naya and all the words we talk about. But you know, after death is a lot of things. Amen. A dead hero society in St. Lucia. Fire! Burn that. But we have to plant the songs while we are alive to make ourselves feel nice and airy. You know what I mean? And what people didn't know or what they are not aware of, they got to be aware of. Give thanks and praises. So we got a man Joe Grandada right now. Yes, to block a sound on higher. Yes, yes. The grandfather, the granddada, Rastafari people, Manjo, Rastafari. Yes.
Eli, Rastafari. Eli, Rastafari.
Last year the first.
It's the last year, Rastafari. Last year. The life of Ayabenge.
Mike.
Well, man, let me just make it. The life of Ayabenge. I know Ayabenge very, very long time through Mama Lavi. Even before he didn't have his luck in his head. And he raised up our I, and he was a brother that grew in the movement of Rastafari. He's a man, always been a countryman. So he always been working and keeping to and hold himself very positively around man and man. By growing as a Rasta man, we are so close to them. He's a man that used to pass them and heal the nation, you know, with the healing, with the medicine. So through that then, you come to have a lot of brothers with him, right? As he growing up, he used to send brothers at the farm, and Ruth's farm, and work with us, and he himself used to be there. And like, we have many farms that time, where Rasta was so collectively, we get ourselves self-sufficiency. You know, we have Libya, Zimbabwe, Montreal, Italfa, you know, I bring it on the other side, Rasta on the other side, and we get ourselves collectively in that time. When the love was really flowing in our man and man, right? So, but I think it's a man that he always around man. I call, and a fellow they call him, he call him Frog, but he's not Frog, you know. The other fellow. You know, Stephen and I cop and I bang. Them man used to pass on the healing in the shell, you know. And, yeah, you know what I mean? So the nation start to grow because I don't go do it in that time. You know, because the early time, he didn't have much far right. Right? But we have a lot of love, been flowing around man and man. So man and man was really strong and powerful. You find that brother there come to when he beat Mama Lavi and they make endless children, and at times he feel a great loss where two of the child pass away at the same time. But he never give up. Continue pushing through and doing his work all the time. Still like the nation see well, a man like him then, so much man that around him and his work then, they call him Majesty. When he come by me, tell him Majesty, you know the man started calling Majesty. I said, well, if the man see you the Majesty, I have no problem with that. You know. He said people would say that this and that. I said, I don't want what people say. It's how the people them see you. Right? That's what you have to talk about. And I cannot complain about him because he's a man that helped me a lot. Even when I had my children in different form, I used to help them same way. But in different forms. Say we start to come to be a big keeper because we were doing beer at the farm. Like man, I already miss him. Because but I always have love for, and he always have full respect for a man, just like I am the same way. And they come by me for kind of little fruits, come like that time. You know what I is? Tell me that is aki. That's aki. I say how they eat it. Tell me they say it's a poison. I say the body eat it. Tell me yeah. I say well it's not poison. I was going down, so I hold a little aki in my hand. At the transport, I see a fellow in Facebook, I kind of little screen like a man traveling. I said, man, you know what it is? He told me that Jamaican ackee. I said, he doesn't eat it. He told me, yeah, he doesn't eat it. You could take out the seed inside of it and you have something red inside of it like a belly. Take it out and put hot water on it and you could eat it as scrambled. So when I went up now, I tell Tazan, you know they eating that man? He told me, okay, he said, well, if they said you could put water on it, you could stew it. And from that then, ackee start to spread all around in the valley. People didn't know how to eat it. Even now, Ben guess how to eat it, and he was so close to it. Yet life belonged and all them brothers. So it's a brother that was very strong in the battle until that such time. So all what I could say is to do good, and good will always follow you. And I know wherever where you be, you'll be a policeman. So give thanks to Rastafari in the Most High. In the words from my mouth, the intention from my heart, in the fully acceptable in thy sight, Selassie I.
Yes, brother Rastafari. We have one by the name of Philomen Pisa. Where is Philomen Pisa? Yeah, forward. Forward. Let us go. Rastafari. Yeah, blessed Lord. You want to hold the mic?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Philomen Pisa. He was my godson, but really, in the over years, he became my son. Wow. He was so good to me, and I would greatly miss him. He take care of me with my food, everything that I needed, he provided for me. And while he was sick, he hadn't seen me for a while. He kept asking for the name. Eventually, I went to the hospital, I spoke to him, and he was so pleased to see me. It is a sadness that I miss him dearly, forever in my heart, because he was so kind, so loving, and he talked to me, to his children about me. Everything is ne, always mentioning my name, and I will always be grateful. And I hope that he's in a good place, and one day we'll all meet in that new heaven, new earth. So, it is a pleasure, like I said, to be here today, because I couldn't. Today's Friday, I said I must come to his funeral. I have to see his face once more, so that I can sleep and know that he's at peace. But he'll always be in my heart. And I'll be always thankful for all his kindness, because he was a very loving and caring man. Thank you very much.
Sit down. You heard the word song? A loving and caring man. Loving and caring. Loving and caring. Give thanks. Selassie I the first. Yeah, man, I just black a little one to good song about Naya. Because that must be the last person in relation to video. Yeah. What I know of Naya is that Naya was a collective man. He believed in collective security. And that is a word song coined by His Imperial Majesty, collective security for surety. You understand? Naya was a farmer, hard-working man, and as people said, he loved the people. I don't want to repeat the many things they said. What I want to say, his foundation is in the Woodland Mountains. The Lord loved the hills of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are spoken of the city of the Most High. I will make mentions of Rahab and Babylon to them that know I hold Philistia and Tyre with Ethiopia, this man was born there. And of Zion shall be said that this and that man was born in her. I, Selassie I, Rastafari. And the highest himself shall establish her. The eye shall count when he writeth for the people that this man was born the Silla. As well as singers as the praise of instruments shall be there. All island springs I indeed who the Most High. Here we are! Last year, King Rastafari the first. Here we are! Last year, King Rastafari the first. Give thanks and praises unto the Most High for your goodness, my brother. And I hope that everything will be airy, because plenty people say, well, after death you go to heaven or wherever you go. But I want to say to people that Rastafari people, we don't make much preparation for death. We don't. Yeah, man. I've had many conversations with Rastafari people, and preparation is almost zero when it comes to death. Because there was a time Rasta never believed that they would pass away. Never. It is lately, you know, You see, while plenty of Rasta people, man, and brothers and empresses and emperors passed away. They're going one by one because we never thought of that. But you know what happened? Within the community right now, we are aging. We were very young around that time, but since we are aging and sin, sorrows, and death is all over. Yeah, man, disease. Yeah, man, malnutrition is all over, hunger. And all those things are around. So we are also around and we've been part of it. So we have to always expect that one day something may happen or shall happen. You understand that? So we give thanks to the Almighty for the strength that we are on our feet right now to do whatever that is good, to have us, within the path of righteous man. Some people call it heaven, Rasta says Zion, some people say all other names. You understand? But I Selassie, there's a creator and he exists. Some people say there's no God, no this, no that. But there's someone that actually fashioned this earth. You understand? Rastafari. They that trust in the Most High shall be like Mount Zion, which cannot be removed but abideth forever. As the mountains are run about Ethiopia, so is the Most High run about his people from henceforth and forever. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous shall move his hands unto out of pity. Do good, O thou Most High, Rastafari, to them that be good, and unto them that are upright in their hearts. But as for such as turn aside unto the crooked ways, Rastafari shall lead them forth to the waters of iniquity. But love shall be upon black people, righteous people. If life was a thing that money could buy, come walk in the light. The rich would live and the poor would die. Come walk in the light. Rastafari, we people, we have that conviction that of good over evil. And His Majesty, without any level of doubt, He is the creator of the heavens and the earth. So we hail Him. Hail the eyes! Rastafari the first. Hail the eyes! The last eye, in Rastafari the first. Yes, Chris. You're ready to give up the most high, Rastafari. Higher! One! Praise the living high, All glory and honor to the name of the most high, Rastafari. Help high, the last eye. Impress men and I, Rastafari the first. For the whole of man sitteth. For the faithful fail from among the children of men. They speak vanity. Everyone with their neighbor for flapping lips and a double happy they speak. Empire in the eye. Empire in the eye. Empire in the eye.
shall cut off all flattered lips and the tongue that speaketh proud things. What said before thy tongue will and I prevail, and thy lips is on thy own. Who is the last year over thy? For the oppression of the poor, for the signing of the needy. Now will I rise there behind believe in thy highly eyes. Who will set thy safety from them that putteth at thy eye. The words of highly eyes last year impressed many nights to find foot. Pure words as gold, trying to fully above purified 7 times. And brightly eyes, and brightly eyes, and brightly eyes, shall keep an eye from this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side, while the village man exalted. And brightly eyes, and brightly eyes, make sure you are ready when Rastafari comes. Make sure you are ready when Rastafari comes. It must be morning to night. Make sure your heart is done Make sure you are ready when Rastafari comes. Will you be ready when Rastafari comes? Will you be ready when Rastafari comes? It must be morning to night. Make sure your heart is strong and right. Make sure you are ready when Rastafari comes. Family gather around the coffin. One night to fill up the ices. Family around the coffin to take the body to its resting place. I am under the rock. Bam, until is higher than Rastafari. I am under the rock. Go stand like it. I am under the rock. Rastafari, I am under the rock. I am under the rock. Rastafari the first. One rated sign on the earth. Selassie, I will not suffer and I foot to be moved. Him that keepeth and I shall not slumber. I hold him that keepeth Ethiopia shall neither slumber nor sleep. For Selassie is an keeper. Selassie is an shade upon and I right hand. By Selassie protection, the sun shall not smite and I by day, nor the moon by night. Selassie shall preserve my life from all evil. Selassie shall preserve my life. Selassie shall preserve my life. Yawning out and I yawning in. From this I want to that I want. And even forever in Mount Zion. Great is the name of the living I. Highly. Praise Him the living I. Highly. All glory, all honor to the name of the Most High. Highly. One black love, one heartical love, one fire, Bengal love. Fire! Bring the coffin to the cemetery. That we finish the ceremony. One black love.
Come on, let's go. Ready? Let's go. Watch it.
Tell me that we worthless, yes. I couldn't rasa you want try to impress. I try to make your system look like it's the best. One person rasta pick up on your dirty flex. And we you want police arrest, oh yes. And another point me want to address. Them give us disease and them tell us it's a test. The black man don't fall is them glorified success. Them couldn't care nothing less. Them tell me that we worthless. A Rastafari make me brave and fearless. Wow, wow, them tell me that we worthless. I think Selassie I alone I put my interest. Yes, them tell me that we worthless. A Rastafari make me brave and fearless. Them tell me that we worthless.